So let's see if this works a little bit better, because it's already getting late and so we need some light. Hi, I'm Crazy German Viper, and in today's video we are going to do something that is very fun. And we're going to look at something I was playing around for quite some time today, and I wanted to share this with you because better before I just explain it to you, I will just show it to you. By the way, Linux, I love it. It runs so smooth. It's just fantastic. It's just reliable, it's durable, it runs smooth. I don't have any problems with it. It's just phenomenal. When you go to Google Trends, you can go to this Explore tab. And so let's just use one example. ChatGPT, we're going to just say worldwide, we're just going to say 2004 till present. And obviously it looks exactly the way that you would imagine. Like you basically, you know, until the inception in 2000 and what was it, 23 November, or was it 2022? I think it was 2022 in November, not 100% sure. It got incepted, and you know, it has been grown ever since, and that's what you would imagine. You know, people are using ChatGPT nowadays, but that's not what we want to do here. I was asking myself this question. I was asking myself this very important question. The last weeks I've been kind of depressed, and I'm in this situation, and I was looking back over the last couple of years, and I was looking back at my life, and I was thinking about, is it something that happens periodically? Is there some sort of hidden biological thing? Is there like, am I like borderline disorder guy that is just, you know, like swinging from one depression to the next high and so on and so forth? And when I look back and when I'm totally honest with myself, no, I'm not. I'm just right now in the situation where I'm in. It's just a lot. It's hard to handle. It's just depressing. It's just frustrating. And I must also admit, I didn't really have a lot of stability in the last couple of years. And if you don't have any stability, it's going to be hard on you no matter what you do. And now we come to the interesting part of the video. Let's look what happens if we search for depression. That's worldwide now. And what is really interesting is, look at this pattern. It has some sort of weird pattern to it. When we look at these dips are always summertime. June, July, August, June, July, August, June, July, August, June, July, August. This is where the search request, the interest over time dips in summer. And then you have the sort of winter depression, I assume, here. And you would ask, like, yeah, but why do they have this dip in the middle? Look where this dip is. It's in December. It's in Christmas time. You know, most people have vacation, most people have holiday and so on and so forth. They are with their families, they're going, meeting their friends, blah, 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 blah. You know, all of that, you know. And that's really interesting. And what I also think is very interesting is how in 2004 it was actually higher. Like more people in 2004 were actually looking for it. And it had kind of like this declining trend since then. And I would actually assume that it would have actually risen in the last couple of years. And in today's video, let's play around with this a little bit more. Let's look for some search terms that are very interesting. So let's look for war. Now, war, what I would have assumed is that, you know, since we are actually hearing more and more about wars in now Israel, in Azerbaijan, in Russia, Ukraine, all of these things, I would have assumed that now after, I don't know, 2020 or something, it would actually rise and people would look more for these sort of keywords. And maybe we can just, you know, refine the search a little bit. Let's look at it from Germany. And you see, okay, yes, in the last couple of years, since 2021, it has increased, but not as much as I would have thought it would increase. So maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe it's just me being depressed and I focus more on all of these negative things, because to just assume, you know, the world, you know, people are more thinking about wars and all of these things. I don't know, like the data, the interest in this topic over time doesn't indicate that this is something that, you know, is happening in the world right now, that people are like that. This topic war is more present than it has been before. I don't know how else to explain it. Let's look at World War. That was something that was really interesting to me. World War, World War III, World War II, and we see it's basically nothing has changed. There's a big spike here in 2013. I don't know, maybe this is a movie or something that came out and had some sort of this time. Maybe this is a World War Z movie, let's see. Yeah, there you go. See? World War Z from 2013. Revolution. Yeah, kind of nothing. And it's really interesting how they have these recurring patterns here. June, July, August. Always in summer. Maybe people are just in summertime more outside, weather is nice, and people are spending less time on their devices. Maybe it's just that. Okay, let's look for something else. Let's look for COVID. COVID. Yeah, basically, and this is also so interesting. It's like, you know, COVID was a big one. It was really, really, really big. And obviously in 2020 it started, and you know, then we had a big peak in 2022 in January. You know, that was probably the last time with all of these, you know, thingies with all of these derivatives of COVID or whatever they were called, you know. And then basically now nobody gives a shit, you know, it's a business as usual. We are back to normal. Everybody just forget about the years 20. Like when somebody asks in 20 years, tell me something about 2020 to 2030. I think everybody will just forget about COVID. Nobody's going to mention, yeah, COVID was in 2020. I think everybody is going to forget. We can Google for Israel. That would be interesting. Israel. Oh yeah, there you go. You know, basically nobody cares. And then boop, in October 2023, Israel is all over everybody's minds. What about Ukraine? 2015. This is probably the annex of the Crimean Peninsula. Yeah, and then of course, right here, that's the invasion in February of 2022. But it has been declining. I mean, like, it is still a little bit more attention than before, obviously. What else can we look for? What would be interesting? Let's look for FIFA. FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cups. Yeah, that is something that I would assume, you know, 2006, 2010, 2014, these are the FIFA World Cups. Not something that I am surprised by. What about Super Bowl? Super Bowl. Yes, this is exactly what I would expect. Exactly like this. I could have drawn this not better myself. Let's look at elections. With the elections, probably what we're going to see for the midterms and for the actual elections, like we're going to probably see smaller ones and bigger ones. Let's see. Yeah, but it's not so bad. It's like in the midterms, the same attention than basically when the elections happen. So it's interesting also to see that the interest over time, especially in the last years, has increased. So more and more people are going to start getting interested in elections, apparently. I mean, this is what I see from the data. Because I don't think that the growth overall has been so crazy since 2018. I don't know, but it's interesting that especially since 2016 something has changed and people are more interested in politics in general. Let's look for politics. Politics, interesting. I was thinking that politics would be going up instead of down, that people would nowadays be a lot more interested in politics. Let's look for feminism. Oh yeah, I remember this is 2016. This is the Jordan Peterson era and Ben Shapiro and so on and so forth, with Bill C-16 in Canada, where people were just, you know, all over this topic, but it has kind of really turned down. It's basically not trending anymore. People have, you know, moved on from this topic, and I'm glad that this topic is something that we left behind, because it was really annoying. It was really, really annoying, and it was, you know, dividing people. And interesting topic, but I don't know. What else? Black Lives Matter. Oh man, that is insane. I would have never thought that this looks exactly like the way that it looks here. June 2020, height of the Black Lives Matter stuff. This was in the first summer after COVID. I thought it was earlier. I'm really surprised here. But it's really interesting. You see all of these topics being broadcast in the news, so big and so, you know, I remember at the time, you couldn't escape this topic. It was so present. Everybody was talking about it, and people were just preoccupying themselves with this topic in a way that I haven't seen before. And of course, we're going to talk about the mother of all topics. Let's look at cryptocurrencies, shall we? Cryptocurrencies. Oh my god. That is nuts. What is that? It's 2007. Yes, that's what I've been telling people. This is what we have talked about in every sort of debate. You remember when I was talking about the trading volume of Bitcoin? People don't want to believe me, but here it is. That's what I've been telling people the entire time. Look at this. In 2016-17, that's where the trading volume for Bitcoin was at its absolute maximum. People were just trading Bitcoin at this time. People were using it. And since then, basically, Bitcoin in terms of trading volume is just completely dead. People don't really care about it. So let's see what the data says. And there it is. See? 2016, 2017. That's basically where a big hype is. Now, what's interesting to ask here is, why is this offset? Why do we have here in 2017, basically, we have all of this interest, and here, basically, what do we have here? This is 1 year earlier. That is so crazy. And all of this raises so many questions. Also, now that we have, what was it, 2021, that was the last halving. But right now, basically, in March of 2024, the interest is basically non-existent. People don't care about it anymore, apparently. People are not interested anymore about it. It's absolutely nuts. When we talk about the adoption of Bitcoin, I would actually expect that the interest would be higher. The interest would be increasing. USD, US dollar, interest over time. Holy fucking shit, why is this going up? Why are people suddenly asking or interested in the US dollar, USD? That's crazy. Bitcoin. This looks a little bit better than cryptocurrencies, I will tell you this. Obviously here, December 2017, same thing, with a weird offset of 1 year. It's ridiculous. I really ask myself, I really wonder why there is this disconnect between 2016, it's literally 1 year. Here in 2016, basically all the Bitcoin was moved, and then exactly 1 year later, for some reason, basically this topic starts trending. That looks like a wealth transfer right there. It looks like here, basically the people bought, and then they figured out in the next year, okay, we're going to get rid of all of that. We are going to just dump it on people and trying to convince people that's something valuable. But this is now the realm of conspiracy theories, so let's just move on. So I find this to be very interesting, to look at the analytics data and really think about the stuff that I concern myself with normally. And you know what we are talking about here on this channel, you know? Sometimes, and I told this to my girlfriend the other day, I feel like I'm concerning myself with all of these things, and these are not, you know, the things that I should concern myself with. What I want to try moving forward is, I want to just focus on the fundamentals, and I want to spend, especially when I'm depressed, less time in front of the computer, and I want to do more things that are actually useful. I don't know, what do you think, guys? Are you a little bit surprised by some of the results? Would you have thought the results were going to be different? And what is your take on my points? What do you think? Okay, but unfortunately, this is all I have for you today. So if you made it so far into the video, then thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me. And I am also hoping that I'm going to see you in the next one as well. So take it easy. Goodbye.